You are live. Hold on. Oops.
Woo woo! Welcome.
Welcome. I am Fran.
And I'm Weathers. And we are being. Yes.
Okay, guys. Real talk. This podcast takes a commitment. Okay, so
Yes, it does.
By apologizing for not being so more consistent. We are trying to get on board with incorporating this new initiative within our lives and in our busy work schedule. But we are here today. We have an agenda. We have an outline. And we want you to join in as always. This is an open conversation, interactive conversation. So if you are tuning in, please chime in. The comment line is open and we're going to dive into it.
Weathers. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We are doing a remote session. We're not in studio. I'm here at the Organic Warehouse. Weathers is at home. He is at home. But nonetheless, we are together here and we do have an agenda. So Weathers, you want to start with your icebreaker?
Yes. So, do we have any icebreakers? This is a new thing that we're introducing. So you guys can join in. I would say a quick icebreaker for me is all the things that's been happening this week. Feels like in Baltimore, the CIAA was all over the city, downtown and everything. If you guys came out downtown to the Hard Rock Cafe, you met up with your girlfriend this past weekend. Was it the weekend? Yeah, Friday. So yeah. Thursday. When was it?
It was Friday and Saturday. Well, the
CIA
yep. was the whole week, but we actually were vending Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I want to know, how did it go at the party?
So the parties were well attended.
It looked like it.
Well attended. It was great to see everybody come out. There was I've done CIAA before in North Carolina before Baltimore, Maryland won the bid. And unfortunately, as a business, it did follow the same footprint, whereas though they had the games in one arena and then they had the vending and kind of the entertainment in a separate arena. And it creates this massive disconnect. So, some people who know, everybody knows about the actual games. But as far as, the vendors and fashion show and kind of more the heart of the entertainment, there's a big disconnect. So we did have very good attendance, but just imagine if everything was under one umbrella, under one roof. I can imagine the turnout would have been 10 times what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But it was it was great to see everybody come out. I don't know how many people were repping different teams and so forth, but there were a lot of people in town, a lot of tourism for the CIAA this past weekend.
So that's
always good. Any other icebreakers?
Not from me. I think our list is actually pretty icebreakish.
Icebreakish. All right. So that's really good. Okay, well, let's go into our feel-good topics. First thing I have, 9-year-old genius kid graduated high school. David Balunga. Am I saying that right? What's his heritage?
That's as close as I got to it.
Okay,
That's the name that I got.
what's his heritage? Do we know?
I don't know it. He looks like he has two black parents. I seen him on. They was on the news. A couple questions about the graduate and the high school early. So it looks like he did it like a course online for like kids who are into like science and mathematics. So I seen he has like goals of being an astrophysicist, and they're looking now, I hear, towards a college that'll be, good for him, a good fit for him. So that was exciting to see at 9 years old.
9 years old is phenomenal. But I will say that I think this is some of the beginnings of a phenomenal trend. If you can imagine, kids have nothing but an astronomical amount of reach to,
Yeah.
everything. So it's just a matter of them, discerning, or rather turning their focus to what they want to absorb, what they want to learn. School is broken down to a schedule. Has to abide by that. Definitely, if you're at home learning, you set your own schedule for learning, not only how much you want to learn, but what you want to learn.
Yeah.
And, the various levels, you don't have to wait for next week to expand on your learning. So, the sky's the limit to which you can go. So, I feel really good about David and his achievement. I think that it's going to start to set the bar for other children to be able to reach that same goal, and if not the same amount of time, maybe earlier. You're talking about 9 years old. That is, he's not even a teenager.
Not even
at what, 17?
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
So he's 8 years ahead of the game.
And I want to shout out the parents for seeing and harnessing that genius. A lot of the times kids don't always get that nurturing, especially when, I know when your kid is smart, you kind of have a little bit of a push to kind of hone in on it, but to really take that initiative during what they said was like this happened, he finished during the pandemic, and so during the time where a lot of people were struggling,
nothing but time.
Yep. And people were struggling with school, that cyber learning. So it's just awesome to see him have that that drive to and focus to kind of finish out a task like that.
That's the key word. He had the focus.
Yeah.
A lot of things he could have been doing as far as entertainment, even craft. We know that some open businesses, but to see him come out of the pandemic, with an 8-year jump on his education is just, it's just
phenomenal.
It really is. It is phenomenal. So big ups to David.
Yes, shout out to him.
And David and the Balunga family. I'm not familiar with the Balunga heritage, but it sounded like some African blood up in there. So
Caribbean something.
way to go. So
yes,
that definitely
yes.
A feel good topic.
Definitely.
Breaking up is hard to do.
Yeah, that's a part of the feel good topic.
I just have that next on the list, but it definitely is. It ain't hard to do. I don't think so, anyway. And I think you're frozen, my dear. So yeah, the next thing on the list is breaking up is hard to do. Do you prefer over the phone like a punk, or in person?
Wait, So yes, that is our next feel good topic, and kind of like a lighter topic. I know normal than our normal ones. But I felt this. I've seen it trending this week on the social media, and since it's been so long, I had to adjust our format. And this was something I feel like we don't spend a lot of time on relationships on the podcast, with the way we focus on other things. But this was a good one because a lot of people. Hello.
Keep talking.
Oh, okay, my bad. A lot of people, they struggle with the breaking up part, of relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely I've mastered it by now. There was a time when it was a challenge for me, but I think that once you get over, you set your parameters and your guidelines and you stick to them, then it becomes easier. One of the more difficult times for me, being a younger woman, was just not wanting to feel the disappointment of a failed relationship, not wanting to feel that hurt, whether it was right or wrong. And I think at one point I realized that, oh, this is not going to last forever. You're going to be sad, maybe melancholy for a little while, and then afterwards you're going to be good. And it was kind of
you're going to get over it.
You're going to get over it. It was kind of like the needle prick, when you have to go to the doctors. It's going to be a little pinch, a little sting, but it's for your good, and it's not going to last forever. And I think when I changed my perspective and started looking at it as a needle prick, I was able to mow through those brothers. No, I was able to.
No. Well, I'm a in-person person, but I too had some cowardice when it came to breaking up, and I have been known to kind of let it end. Just kind of like let the breakup happen. No real trying to put the pressure on.
Talk a little bit about your worst breakup and your best breakup. I'm going to let you have the floor for a second. Go ahead.
I would say my worst breakup might have been maybe the one time I didn't really break up. I cheated and then snitched on myself and let the breakup happen. So that might have been one of those times that I was speaking of when I wasn't maybe having the strength to kind of just go out and end it. And I would say my best one, it was a rougher end, but in actuality, me and the person happened to be close before, a relationship. So in the end, we actually still ended up being friends, actually best friends. So I've got kind of both of those type of situations. I don't really have any breakups that have really ended badly, where people like hate my guts after the breakup. So kudos to me. And you guys, if you're here, we want to hear about your breakups too. If or what your preference is. Do you want to be broken up in text or in person? For me, it could go both ways. I think I kind of want in person as a respect thing, but the text out.
Don't you remember the scene in Sex and the City? You remember? Did you ever watch any Sex and the City?
Big Sex and the City fan. I'm a big Sex.
Okay, so don't you remember when Carrie was dating the guy and he's broke up with her on a Post-it note?
A Post-it note.
I'm like, punk.
That was rough. That was rough.
He was a punk. And the thing
all I'm saying, I'm listening, Mumbles.
No, I was just saying, in person is always tasteful. I think it's less hurtful because it shows somebody that you're sensitive and you have some empathy. But to do it in a text message is really uncaring, tacky,
Well,
tasteless, classless, punkified. I mean,
pause. Some people have anxiety that we have to think about some people are awkward in those situations. So it could kind of, lean
you
on the person.
I don't the only time that I would even fathom or condone or consider, and that's the only, I would say that's the only time I could think about it, where you would break up in a text if maybe there was some aggression or maybe some violence, somebody was maybe scared or threatening, and they was like,
Yeah.
this ain't good. I can see that. But other than that, I think anybody is value enough for an in-person breakup.
Yeah.
But
Maybe not over dinner, but
no, they don't. It better be a Dutch.
you better be treated. You breaking up with me, you better be treated.
Somebody getting real irritated and you done ate my food and you trying to break up, you better spit up my food. But it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so breaking up, is it hard to do? It can be, but my preference would definitely be in person. I just think it's more sympathetic, more empathetic rather, and more caring. If you talk about somebody you had a relationship with, yeah, I think so. And your preferences, Weathers?
Like I was about to say, it could go either way. The text, I'm a chuck up to the deuces, and I respect the in person more. But when it comes to humans, the unpredictability is always there, and you just never know. And endings, when something comes to an end, and confrontation brings out, different sides of people. So for me, it could go either way.
But what's your preference?
I'll say in person.
Okay, so big ups to in person. I would actually say in person too. Okay, that's great. So let's move it along. You had a couple of shout outs down here. Shout out for Lizzo for the Grammy win.
Yeah, so shout out to Lizzo for her Grammy win and all this week and last week. For a while now, I have actually been watching and seeing, all the sides to Lizzo and what I can say and speak to for her, because it's so much hate that she gets. It almost everybody that get the utmost hate, they kind of have a soft spot with me. And the one thing that I can tell that she is doing, she's bringing a sense of togetherness and unity amongst a large group of people. Not just full figured women, not just women. She's actually seemingly, from what I'm seeing in her comments, the love she gets there. If you're in her comments trying to rag on Lizzo, they are on you like white on rice. They're not playing about Lizzo. And I think it's because of the feeling that she kind of gives. And I listened to her song Special. She has a song, If No One Told You Today, You're Special. And it's such a good song. And so shout out to Lizzo for the Grammy win. And I see her impact. I see the self-love that she's exuding. Not everyone kind of considers it self-love, but I can tell that it doesn't feel to me as faddish as it used to. I will say when she used to do certain things, it felt kind of like a fad, like I guess the basketball game in certain places where you might be, expecting some decorum because of, families and different things. But out, looking at it from multiple views, I see the connection that she's making with the people. So shout out to her and congratulations as well.
And so this was a Grammy for record, or
I think it was for I forget I think it's for a song, like for a record. I don't think it was the album of the year. I think that went somewhere else.
Record of the year,
Yeah.
about DAM time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. And so I know that speaking of Grammys, that Beyonce made history with the most Grammys awarded, but she still did not get Album of the Year. Is that correct?
She did not. And
Okay.
that was very controversial on the internet. It went to Harry Styles, and I know he has a wide audience, but the Grammys is just a group of people, right? Like it's a board that does that one, right?
I think it's a board, but I thought that it also included some of the fans' votes. No, is it just the
I'm not totally sure. I hear a lot about the Academy. That's what they talk about when they talk about those Grammy awards. They're always like the Academy this and the Academy that. I did feel her album that she dropped was very influential across social media, across a lot of people are using it. It's their background music for when they're trying to, do their promotion. Um, it was it garnered a lot of attention, but I think when it comes to the Grammys, people have to realize everyone's watching this, and the musical taste when it comes to music, and it's so broad. So sometimes we might, not think of someone's album as top tier, but I have to take into consideration that I haven't listened, to Harry Styles. So I don't know that I can't, with the informed mind say who should have won out of the two or so.
Yeah, that is probably a very not probably that is a very accurate statement. It reminds me of when Denzel Washington was nominated for Malcolm X
Mm.
alongside Schindler's List. I will never
Oh,
and I had seen Malcolm X, Spike Lee's Malcolm X, but I had not seen Schindler's List. And so when he lost, I was very disappointed. I thought that they had
hmm,
made a bad decision. And I thought, here is another attack on a Black actor, actress. And then I saw Schindler's List. And
hmm.
I said, excuse me,
They,
excuse me,
yeah,
because it was a phenomenal account. It was a phenomenal movie. Um, Not to take away from Malcolm X,
yep,
but in comparison, when I look at the cinematography, the story as a whole, the acting, just the body of work, it did. I don't think that Malcolm X compared, although it was a phenomenal work. When it was up against Schindler's List, I think the Academy, um, chose the best picture at that time. So, yeah, like you said, you have this devotion for your artists and their work.
yep,
And surely I don't know who Harry Styles is, but I do know that Beyonce has an amazing,
work,
portfolio and
yep,
body of work. And so instantly, I would think you guys y'all made the wrong decision. But again, I don't know who Harry is, and I don't know what he did this year. So
yeah. And we
yeah,
might tune in and listen a little bit.
well,
But I thought that was. I'm
mumbo,
listening.
mumbo, mumbo,
Mumbles,
mumbo,
mumbles.
mumbo. Well, I'll say this: I can't imagine that it will elude her much longer. You can't have a history like that, of award the highest number of awards, and not get the coveted album of the year.
And sometimes the thing that we say it so much, and I don't always know that we believe it. The things that she might be getting in return might exceed the Grammy expectations, for her. she may want it. I'm not saying she denying that she may want it, but some things, if you don't get it right then, it doesn't always mean, you did something wrong, or, it didn't line up. It means that one thing might not be for you. I'm sure it's plenty bodies of work that we've seen that we are like, where's the Grammy for this?
Yeah, I just think that when you put yourself in a situation where you're judged and awarded by a group of people, you always want their highest award.
Mm-hmm.
You consider any other, it's the Super Bowl, if you will, of their career. So I'm pretty sure that she wants it. Her husband made significant comments about it, that they kind of missed the opportunity. So it leaves you to believe there's pretty much a lot of conversation going on in the household about it, about not having it.
Mm-hmm.
But Beyonce is what, in her early 40s? I think, is she in her early 40s by now?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so not to diminish her work or her timetable, but I'm sure that she wants to, accomplish some things in her career by a certain time, and she did, when you start having dances created from your songs and, having them dominate the airwaves, you really want to see that reflected in the awards. So, she got an award for, I guess, Song of the Year, but not album. And I haven't listened to the whole album, but I do know that Cuff It, or whatever it is a phenomenal tune. But congratulations to Harry Styles. Congratulations to Beyonce, Lizzo as well in her right. And we also want to give a highlight to Zendaya.
Yeah, I call her Zendaya. I think people probably pronounce it a couple different ways. We're highlighting her because she made a little bit of social media controversy with her outfits on the red carpet. I'm a big red carpet person. I watch them on it, and she gets the accolades for being I don't know, she is always very well dressed on the carpet. And in one of her most recent interviews, which y'all can see on her page, just her and the camera and how the photographers and how she works it. Like, the big thing in the comments was they're lucky Zendaya didn't choose modeling. And so just to see her kill the red carpet every single time, and like, it's really stunning. And she's a very articulate girl, very chill, down to earth from what I see. So it's just good to see her kind of be that dualistic, where she's like kind of down to earth feels about her, but she really turns up she really gave Hollywood glamour. And sometimes on the red carpet right now, it was just good to see like that flair that Hollywood used to have.
Okay, so big ups to Zendaya for coming through with some true stylish. I'm sure that she has a stylist, and I don't know if you know who the stylist is.
His name is that I know on Instagram. He's Luxury Law. I think his name is like I don't want to missay his name. I know he got an Instagram, but it's a guy, black guy stylist that she has, and she's worked with him. He seems to be like, I would call her his muse.
Okay. So it looks like she has him to thank for his creativity, but appears to really be in tune with her. And, like you were saying, she is probably his muse, and really able to speak through her using fashion. So it's great. I'm glad that she shows that well, shows his work well, and his ability to dress her. It'll be interesting to see if he has another muse or interest in bringing about anybody into his mix or in his roster to highlight, the various fashions. So,
well, I actually, I was on his page a little, and I actually like, he's termed himself an image architect. And when I thought I was going to be that type of person, I was like image consultant. When I saw image architect, I was like, it's giving the vibes. It's giving the vibes. So, shout out to him too.
okay. That's the name, image architect. But I mean, if it got your attention, I'm sure other people are following suit as well. So it must be good.
It's
Okay,
the first time I seen it. Yeah.
the first time you see it. So you have another out in addition to Zendaya, you have another shout out, just fashion, red carpet, just fashion in general.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure if you followed it, and how much you saw. I think it's getting a little futuristic on the red carpet. It is got people in how do I say? Fashion is always going to be highly debatable. My only thing that I say is with some of the reactions is that we are in like 2023, and I guess as shocked as some people are, I'm just not. In 2023, I feel like fashion right now should have a slight note of questionable. Like I think it should be a little futuristic. It should be a little edgy. It's not but so much you're gonna do with fashion, I think, that's not gonna be recycled. So there has to be some things that are gonna be a little bit like, what in the world do you got on? And slowly we adapt to things that you shun at first. So I guess I don't be as shocked at with some of the styling things that they do. It may not always look good, but I'm not in shock to see them.
Yeah, I just think that fashion is forever evolving. Even when you reach back and do some vintage pieces, it always has an element of surprise with some newness and
Yes.
a fresh approach. And I think that's what makes it fashion. I used to enjoy watching the shows of like Top Model and is which one was Tyra Banks on? Project Runway.
America's No,
America's
that
Next.
was Heidi Klum.
Heidi
Tyra
Klum,
was
right?
America's Next Top Model, and Heidi Klum was Project Runway.
Bit off the Tyra. She was biting hard off the
Ooh!
I said it. How
She,
Tyra was.
but she chose a whole different lane, though.
Well, I think that Tyra inspired her show, though.
She did. I can definitely see the inspiration, but I do feel like Heidi went a different direction.
Well, she did what she had to. I mean, come on, don't be 100% copycat. Have some originality. But I do think that Tyra inspired a lot of fashion on the show, as a show rather, as a production, and it really let us know how many people are gifted and have a talent that do not have a platform to really show it. But that show really highlighted some phenomenal fashion, from unknowns, unknown
Yeah.
to us anyway. So it's a clear indication that fashion happens at all levels. Happens at all levels. We just
Yeah.
we can only see what happens hits the red carpet, but look at how much doesn't. I mean, really
Yeah.
good work.
Yeah.
Really, really good work.
Yeah.
So,
Because even some of the say it again.
fashion is always coming out.
Yeah, and even some of the runway looks that the NCAA, those were things that you don't always get to see and just like a regular setting. I think we are even in or the fashion we the
So, honey, your connection is totally off. I didn't hear a word that you said, but you might want to try to come back. So we're not hearing anything from whether it's the retail solution, because she has a bad connection to her her rescue. It is raining here in Baltimore, so she may be having some interruptions. Are you back with us?
Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Oh, but you're on now. Okay, she's gonna leave and come back. So the last topic we were talking about was fashion on the red carpet, and that it's always evolving. And we talked about how many artists are actually out there that are unheard of, you know. And we mentioned Tyra Banks had the Next Top Model, and that was such a good platform to bring about new talent. Are we back?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. And so welcome back. I was just finishing up with fashion on the red carpet, just reiterating how there's so many artists out there that are unknown that have fantastic work. So really shout out when you think about fashion and red carpet, shout out to people like Tyra, like Heidi, who really do a good job with bringing hidden talent to the world.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on to Fair Pay in Hollywood.
Okay. And this was part of the highlight.
Fair Pay in Baltimore.
Well, the idea came because along with fashion, Zendaya sparked this controversy. You may have or may have not heard of Euphoria, but it's a HBO show. She's the star, Rue. And supposedly she's about to get, and we don't know that this is true, so there goes my supposedly, allegedly. They're supposed to offer her $1 million going forward per episode. And so the question came, like, is she deserving? Or, the conversation was started. And as far as Euphoria goes, I'm saying pay the lady. She plays a high school addict who's kind of moved through like a coming of age story, where if you can imagine terrible kids and from back in my day, we're talking about kids of now. So she's navigating high school and she does a good job. She is a believable addict. And we know Zendaya is clean. When we see Zendaya now on the because I watch Euphoria, that's one of my shows. When we see her out in her real life, we like, look at Rue all clean. Her name is not Rue. Her name is Zendaya. And so I'm team pay the lady. But there, the question was sparked, and I think it takes sometimes too long for our greats to get the money that they're supposed to have when you think about what others are making in the same field. And she gives a stellar performance. So I'm just confused as to why whenever we see the things that we talk about, we want to see happen, it garners or negative energy. And I'm like, this is what we've been asking for.
Yeah, well, it goes without saying that, and Zendaya is reported as, what does she claim? What is her heritage?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Because the comment that I was making is as it relates to pay in Hollywood it stems from Black actors and actresses. And so we know that they, I think more recently, Viola has had one of the more recent, strongest voices for pay. Her pedigree, if you will, her experience, her background parallels some of the highest paid actresses in the industry, yet she is not paid like they're paid. And so it really creates a room for debate as to, well, why not?
Why
because
not?
The only difference we're seeing is skin color. So unfortunately, she has the experience that some of her other, colleagues have,
Peers.
if not
Yep.
more, and it's not getting the same pay, nowhere near the same pay, and it's really disgraceful. It's really
Hmm.
disgraceful. But I will say it again: when you put yourself in a category to be judged by a people who do not value you, then you're subject to what they deem you are worth, or you're
And
not worth.
having to fight for everything. So, and I'm just glad that she's not having to, she's not, if they are, paying her worth, I'm glad to hear it. So I mean,
Well,
I was,
you think about it when you hear. I'm sorry, mumbos. It's working though. It's working.
it is, and I think it's helpful.
Mumbos, for those of you who don't know, is a word that we have created when we overtalk one another. So instead of saying I was talking, we just say
Excuse
mumbo,
me.
and it seems to be working. But please finish your statement.
Yeah, I got a short attention span. I don't remember.
Well, we were talking about. I know we were talking about Viola and not
Uh-huh.
being paid. I know the statement I was going to make was, how would you feel as an accomplished actress? I think Viola, you look at her, you look at Meryl Streep, and then you have this very young girl, very young woman, that's being considered for $1 million an episode of a show, and you can't even get $1 million a movie.
Yeah, but her ROI, so her return on investment, I'm sure was well paid for because I've watched the Euphoria over and over again, and without Rue, it's just another high school show.
Well, what I'm saying is you're talking about a show compared to a movie. And so when you talk about an actress that has studied at Juilliard, that has a reputation for box office hits, she can't get $1 million or more for her movie.
Is she not though? When we're still talking about Viola, right? Is she not?
Well,
Will I mean, first off, can I tell you the other question that popped in my brain while I was doing my research was why are people that nosy anyway? Because in my brain, guess what I almost said? We can Google it.
oh, hilarious.
But my brain did make me ask, why do we care so much about, I feel like we are extra nosy about that pay.
Well, I think that we have to support their efforts. We have to support their causes, because if we don't, we won't see them.
Yeah,
We have to demand and support the things that affect them, because it's their talent, it's their art. And
yeah,
if we don't support their art, we're going to lose it.
we're gonna lose it.
Who wants to study to be an artist or an actress and struggle? Because
Well,
that's
I think
what it is.
Well, that's the thing with being an artist too, though. I think there is a point or a period for almost all the actors and actresses where they are a starving artist. And so that's not an unheard of situation, and it's the real that's their real life upward mobility, to be honest. So they go through a moment of you got to do plays, all of our favorites. When you see that throwback of them in some random video like dancing, they some of them take 15 to 20 years. They get from dancing to all the way up to acting. I think the hip hop and music community do it so often that we don't even notice or see it. But that's career development, and it's over time. And that's why that's why we feel the way that we do in the regular working world. Or a person like me feels a way to see people come out and be like, give me this amount of money. and you don't got no experience. So I
But
definitely
yeah,
agree.
oh, well, so mumbos, but the ones who do have the experience, we have a valid voice speaking. Viola has the experience and is speaking that at her level in her career, she has the experience. She's not being paid. So,
Mm,
if she's at the top and she's not being paid, everybody under her ain't getting no money either. So, I
mm.
think that what she's saying is that it shouldn't be. This is the time where we really, really need to address the academy, and equal pay. We're in a land of supposedly equality, women's rights, and a democracy.
Yeah.
So yeah, she should be getting what her peers are getting. It should
We
not.
can look into that too and talk about this some more, because I think that mumbles, I think this is a whole a whole nother segment too, because I've seen the money comparisons, and there is that question of why is it like that for a top rate, actor, actress, and is, seemingly, like you said, just solely based on this. So
Well, we have seen people like Monique, and I think some other people come out with potential um, uh, um, boycotts, right? Calls for boycotts. Maybe that's what needs to happen, because
and we got I'm listening. I'm sorry.
we really need to be in a position to say, are you going to be equal and fair, or aren't you? Because we go into these movies and we pour all of our talent and make millions, if not billions of dollars, and we're not getting a fraction of it. So, really, enough is enough. I mean, we should
Mm-hmm.
not be able to count our stars on two hands. Really, we should not be. But okay, I'm done. Moving on.
So that was a short highlights. And guys, if there's any segment that you see of the podcast that you guys are more interested in, so if you're wondering where's debate this, or if you're wondering, about something that we've done or come across, let us know so that we can kind of dig into those things that you guys are looking for too.
Okay, well, with that said, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you back in 44 seconds. All right. So, as always, we want to shout out Fran Gong and Fran Gong's Organic Body Care as an excellent provider of organic body care, organic skin care.
That's
We took
right.
a got some libations, and always wanted to remind everybody we are the source for natural skin care that takes care of you and your family.
Yes, and you
Smell
can get that.
naturally, smell fresh naturally with Fran Gong. Oh, and Black Girls Are Lit. I'm a black girl.
Yeah, and click the link in my bio for your favorite deodorant. Smile Solution, people. Oh, that's some stuff happening at the never mind. Okay, we can move forward now.
Not feeling it, not feeling it. Topic.
I forget.
You're not feeling it. Topic is abortion wrong, and who decides?
Oh yes, and so I guess for me it's something that I haven't I don't think we've talked about it yet. And I think is a good time for us to go ahead. We're in a new year. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Women's History Month. And so it's a lot of stuff happening right now in politics. There's something I hear is happening in Mississippi with laws going backwards or so. And with all that being said, I feel like there has been I don't know if I can call it an attack, but I do not like the repeated kind of seemingly wanting control and domination over women's bodies. And it's starting to feel like like people are trying to control us without having any empathy or sympathy towards, the struggles of bearing children, raising them. I'm a big accountability person. So do I think every situation is the same? No. But with that being said, every situation is not the same. So who is to say when it's wrong and right to decide, what a woman or someone wants to do with their body, especially as far as bringing life into this world?
Yeah, I think for me at this age in my life, it really boils down to your belief. It definitely is a spiritual connection for me. And I think that from your spiritual foundation, your a lot of your beliefs and your actions grow from that. And so it really is between you and your maker, how you decide to move in that area. I do believe that, options will always be available. Whether or not they're legal or not is another
Mm-hmm.
story. But I do believe that it's between you and your maker. It's what your spiritual belief holds to be true. It's what your for some what their religion allows. But
Yep.
it's what your soul tells you.
And I
Yeah.
think it shouldn't go any. I truly believe that. I don't feel it should go any further than that. The fact that it came up, in lawmaking, is like the point where this isn't just the work of solely men. There has to be also women and others gearing up and making these questions and bringing up these bills and mentioning these things. And then I'm just wondering with women, yes, you might feel pro-life or whatever it is you're feeling, but you have to understand and hold that as your belief. And I just don't feel like it's fair to put that, on every single woman.
Well, yeah, and that's why we get back to the situation where it's between you and your maker. Almost every decision, um, it has an opportunity to afford someone options.
Yeah.
I don't think this one should be any different. For me, my decision would be based on my faith and my belief. Um,
Hmm.
for somebody else, it could be based on age. I think that I recall hearing that a young girl was seeking an abortion. She was 9 years old, and we just talked about a 9-year old who finished high school. What would be the odds of that young woman, that young lady, that child um, having the same outcome as a mother? Her
Yeah.
body, her
It's
body
not even not ready. It's not even ready.
not
And
even
and
ready.
and it's a sick situation to even begin. So just from the jump. And so now with the laws being in a state where that can totally change. It can now, it'll stop being between you and your belief system because they're literally trying to take it away. I don't know, and I haven't been following it how successful that law went.
Well, I haven't been following it, but it really is a situation where um I just fall back to it. It's really between you and your God. My God says no. I know that I became a mother at a very young age, and at the time it was, detrimental to my family. It brought a lot of stress to my mother and to our household. At the same token, it matured me very fast at a very young age, and looking back on it, I would not. I cannot imagine it any other way because there was so much growth for me in becoming a woman, and who doesn't? I mean, how can you not love a child? I know there's unfortunately some instances where people don't, but for me, there was so much love for my daughter that it was no way to look at it other than it's nothing but up from here. So I know that it's not always the same outcome for everybody, but my God, the God that I serve, says no. He gives life, he takes life, and it's not for anybody else to make that decision.
Well, they trying to make that decision for y'all. So ladies, if you're not paying attention, and I will check it out myself, even though I don't think about having kids or so. But at the same time, I don't, I do want women to be able, like others, to make their own choices and their own decisions, especially concerning, their own bodies.
Okay. And so I think our next question, our next topic, and I guess our last one for tonight, restrooms and questions. Can they be co-ed and more?
Yeah, so a couple different things that we're going to talk about with these restrooms, because I've actually been seeing them. They're slowly popping up here. I've seen a little co-ed restroom. Now it only had one stall, the one that I've seen so far. But more than one gender person, whoever could use this bathroom. It's been a hot topic, a hot debate. And I also want to talk about restroom etiquette. All of us out here in the public using the bathroom, it's some things that I want y'all to be doing while y'all out and about. But so how do you feel about co-ed restrooms and sharing with everyone? Because it's not just men, women, it's men, women, trans, even
I am so sick and tired. I am sick and tired of this nonsense. And this is what it is.
We want to know.
Well, I'm getting ready to let you know. I am a woman. Okay? I am a woman. I have a vagina. And because I have a vagina, I am assigned to a bathroom that accommodates my vagina. Okay? If you are a male and you have a penis, guess what? You have a bathroom that's assigned to you. Now, I'm not talking about your cosmetic and your aesthetic, your extensions in your hair and your skirt. I'm talking about your organ. Okay? If you have a penis, you go in there with the men. If you have a vagina, you go in there with the women, and stop all of this other foolishness because it is just aesthetic. I am sick of it. Don't try to impose on my territory because you want to play dress up. I don't care. I don't care.
What if they've had what if they've finished? What if they're a she now?
If you are a she and you have a vagina, then yes.
So you're good. So you would be good with trans women then, right?
If you have a vagina,
So
if you have a vagina, a VJ, JJ, vagina, whatever you call it, come into the room. But if you look like a man, well, let me correct that. If you have the appearance of a man with a vagina, you can't come into the women's bathroom.
what you saying? Who like?
I said, if you have a vagina, but you have the appearance of a man, you cannot come in.
Oh, so do you mean somebody that's not finished the surgery?
Whatever.
Because you're not talking about women who
so much
you
going on. How can
you're
I
not,
jump?
but we're not referring to women who kind of dress more tomboyish.
And see,
Long as they got the girl, they good, right?
this is where the problem comes in. All of this is because we're going against natural. When you go against natural is when you have these issues. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am a woman. I have a vagina. I go to the bathroom that was created for me, right? I take my mother there. I take my daughter there. Okay? I don't bring my dog or my cat into the bathroom. It's not their place. They don't, I don't care if they know how to sit on the pot and squat. There, it's a dog. Go outside to where it has been created for you. I don't bring my boyfriend or my husband into the female bathroom. It's not for them. Go into the male bathroom that was created for you. And
well, we talking about them being co-ed.
That's what I just said. Was it created for co-ed? No. No, it wasn't created for co-ed. That's why you have a urinal and a commode. You have a urinal and you have a commode, right? They were created for a reason. And
God
gender forcing their way into what was not created for them, I have a problem with that.
I think it gets a little how do I say, it gets a little touchy talking and thinking about it, because a lot of things have happened in restrooms, right down to even high school restrooms, mall restrooms. Different places have already had invasions and different things of privacy happen in a restroom. And I just feel, for me, is mixing all of these elements, into one, it's just already, for me, risky behavior. I think safe spaces is what would be more of a reasonable thing to do. So a place where, I don't know, safe space could be a restroom that is for people who don't mind being mixed and integrated. You don't think that we're...
Here's the thing. If society is clearly recognizing the LBQ arena, create a transgender bathroom. Do that. Stop trying to invade on what exists. Create your own. That's what I have a problem with. I'm a woman. Don't try to invade my womanhood with what you have decided works for you. If it works for you, fine. Go mind your business. Don't try to come over here and invade. Well, you are not equal to me. I am a woman. You are a transgender. That's why you have a title. Transgender. You have a title. I have a title.
They gave us a title too.
Listen, let's keep it that way. You're a transgender.
You cisgendered.
You are not a woman. You are not a man. You're a transgender. Let's keep it that way. Stop trying to invade on what is already created by God and what's natural. That's just it. If you are a trans, then you are a trans. That's fine. Be whatever you want to be, but don't try to invade on my territory. I don't like that.
And guys,
you're not going to come up 6'4".
Mumbles. And guys, if you have your opinions and your thoughts on this, leave them in the comments. We know you guys come back and watch it. Leave it in the comments. We'll be checking, or I'll be checking to see what y'all say, and we'll shout you out, or see if you guys want to see what we got to say about your comments. Finishing up on restroom. My thing with restroom etiquette, and this is for the ladies. And can I tell you, this is why I don't know that I want anybody else in our restrooms. Wipe the toilet seat, ladies. Wipe the toilet seat. If you're squatting, and I think you should be squatting, wipe the toilet, ladies. Let me tell you, I work in a public I have to use the public restroom. It is nothing more irritating to see than none of you flushing the toilets or wiping the seat behind yourself. Ma'am, we all know you're squatting. Wipe the toilet. We commend you for squatting. Wipe the toilet behind you and flush it. That's the only thing. It's been bothering me for the past years, decades.
It was a trans that did it.
No, they're not in there yet. It's just the ladies.
Listen,
and that's the problem for me.
Let me tell you something. You're not going to tell me that they are not already in there. That's why it's a topic. That's why they fighting for it, because they've been in there and they probably got put out. That's why it's a topic, because it is happening. They are going into the woman's bathroom. Yes, they are. And so,
this been happening for years with ladies not wiping that toilet. Wipe the toilet and wash your hands.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I do understand. I do agree. Everyone does not have appropriate etiquette as it comes to public restrooms. And that's all the more reason why not to expand it and open it up to further confusion. We got to deal with this already. Don't clog the toilet, wipe the seat, flush the toilet. We already have to, deal with this. Now we got to deal with who coming in here too with your body parts. It's just too much.
Well, y'all, listen, I think it's been real. It's 8:11.
Well, we have a last thing here. We're going to introduce Financial Fridays, right?
Yes, we are.
So it's not happening this Friday, but we have recognized a need to bring some more solid resources to the podcast, to this platform. And one of them definitely is finances. Who couldn't use more education, more knowledge about finances? So in our travels, we have met several people who have great expertise, great knowledge, and great resources to offer our audience on financials. So why not have a Financial Friday? So we are going to arrange some speakers to come on and introduce the companies that they work for, the services that they offer, and hopefully offer you some valuable resources for your finances, whether it be personal, professional, business, or whatever it is. What would help us is if you chime in and kind of start a dialogue about what else you want to see, so that we can organize those conversations around the topics that you want us to deliver.
Yes.
But again, we have run into several people that have fantastic knowledge and programs available around finances for both business and personal.
Yes, and so real quick, because we have been on a kick to help our customers as well as ourselves with other forms of income. So if you are a person who is or was a Friends affiliate when we were with Lee Addy, or our last affiliate company,
Lee Dino.
Okay, Lead Dino. If you were with us during that, I'm not sure where to go, but DM me your email address. So you can find me at The Retail Solution, so that I can forward that email over, your name and your email, to Fran, and we can try to get you back in the system. You already know, if you come to Towson or if you've been following us on here, we are looking for word of mouth this season. One way we do that is with your personal testimony. One way you can help us and make you some money is through the affiliate program. I think I most recently got my first or second commission from our newest program. So if you guys want to make the money on the side, DM me. And if you already were, DM me so I can get that information over to Fran, and we can try to run you back through the new system.
Yeah, so it's always opportunities available for additional income. It's just a matter if you take advantage of them. Our affiliate program is a fantastic source for passive income, and it's been available for some time now. I think we have around 800 or almost 800 affiliates. So we have room for more. Our goal is 1,000 or more. And so we're pretty close to reaching that goal. We have tons of content created by world-class agencies available to help you really solicit and market the product. So it's a no-brainer. You kind of put the information out there and then just sit back and let it work for you. So I encourage everybody to just try it out, give it a try, and you would be amazed at the return that it can earn for you and your family. And your family.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So guys, it's been real as always. It's Fran and Weathers. We're being organic. We're always looking for you guys to give us your thoughts, as we are a interactive interactive podcast.
Interactive podcast, that's right. And so our goal is to speak through your voices for the topics that you have that are really dear to your heart and that are thought provocative. So we want to hear from you. So just chime in. We know that you watch the videos after they are aired. But we are always have a space for you to come on and visit and, sit with us live. So jump into the mix, come up to the table. We are here for you. So whether it's any final words, any plans for the weekend?
To relax. Y'all already know I probably shouldn't relax so hard. I'm gonna turn into ice, but burr, psych. No, I'm gonna be chilling, probably figuring out. I'm gonna be waiting for y'all to click the link in my bio. Yeah, that's what I want y'all to do at The Retail Solution. I'll be chilling. I might go on live during my little weekend, but I really don't talk to y'all when I'm at work. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a full weekend plan. So I'm hoping to incorporate some rest into that weekend. But I will be, hopefully, will we be back on Monday?
I don't know. Y'all tell us. Y'all tell us in the comments.
Hilarious. Yes, let us know. But until then, we are anticipating being back on Monday. So I am Fran.
Yes, and I'm Weathers.
And this is Being Organic. We hope that you have a prosperous, successful, blessed breakthrough weekend. And we will see you on Monday. Same
Play
time.
my music.
Peace.